What's up, Rockstars? How's it going? Today I'm going to be talking about a whole bunch of Warhammer updates between seasons, between battle boxes, combat patrols, new rules, warlord relics, all the kind of stuff. There's a lot to go over. New units that we're going to be talking about, and we're going to do that right now. Thank you to my channel sponsor Into the AM. As a company that believes hard work and a great product is a proper way to conduct business, I am delighted to have them as part of the channel. They have some of the coolest graphic t-shirts around and an absolute best fit and feel that has continually exceeded my expectations. With new shirts arriving all the time and other products like boxers, hats, and even a monthly shirt club, I wholeheartedly recommend them to you. Check out the link in my description of this video for an exclusive 10% off everything they sell. As always, a huge shout out to my patrons and YouTube members. Through their financial support that this channel is possible. If you'd like to continue to contribute to this channel in some way, there is a link down below. Even $1 a month helps out greatly, and it is greatly appreciated. Additionally, there was a fundraiser that's ending this week. There's a link down below to that. There's a lot of very cool thank you gifts that I'm able to give back to you guys for your gracious donations that you can look over. And of course, thank you so much if you choose to donate as well. With that out of the way, let's go ahead and jump into things. Now, before we actually get into the Warhammer stuff, and for this first update, I'm definitely going to kind of be covering a larger thing. In the future, I'll be covering, I think, more specific things, and it'll be much more focused on kind of one thing that might be of interest coming up. Perhaps not. It depends on how much news is there. Sometimes it comes in waves, sometimes it doesn't, right? But before that, I actually wanted to point you guys towards the new Rampart Kickstarter. If you didn't know, Archon Studios does this kind of tabletop wargaming or D&D or any of that kind of. If you play it on a tabletop, they make terrain for it in a very cool way. This Rampart stuff is fantastic. I use it for my 40K games all the freaking time, and it is great. And they have a new one now that supports like really good like floors and roofs. As you can see, they actually like have it look really nice. The floors, if you use it, you can even have it to where it like pops out a little bit, so you have that little edge. So if you have like a unit there, they're still touching the terrain. That helps with a lot of the rules. I know that much. And so it looks great. They got city ruins. They have the like Gothic cathedral stuff. This is the stuff I love. But they also have like a sci-fi version as well. They got it all. So I'll go and link down to that below, along with everything else I'm going to be covering here. Now let's jump into the actual Warhammer specific stuff. I'm going to start just by talking seasons. I think most of you probably know about this, but if you didn't, Warhammer is kind of doing this season look at things. And there are, of course, pros and cons to this. So what is this? Essentially, every 6 months, so twice a year, there will be a season, and that season will come with a slew of things. Now, and I actually kind of like the structure of this because it means you kind of know going into that 6 months, okay, there's going to be this here, and there's going to be that there, and there's going to be this here. If you're a competitive player, which I am not, then you can like know exactly what's coming up and what you need for the next 6 months to kind of keep competing at that level. If you're casual, then you just get to know ahead of time, okay, I need to start saving up for whatever you're going to be buying. But it comes with updated rules, some campaigns, some campaign rules, new units, stuff like that. And we're going to kind of be covering a lot of that. And again, that's every 6 months. So it's just kind of twice a year. It's not like it's like rapid pace or anything like that, just twice a year. And then you get to announce a whole bunch of stuff early, which is actually quite useful. We don't always get to know stuff until like sometimes when it's almost at our door. So that's really helpful as well. This first season covers Vigilus. So there's more fighting going on in Vigilus that we got to do. It's a very important world, as you know, for the Imperium. And so there's this War Zone book that's coming out. And also a crusade pack where you get your normal crusade kind of campaign style stuff as well. They also have a chapter approved book. So again, if you're competing, the point cost is like really important. Obviously, there's going to be a slew of changes there. That also means that ideally they're changing points a lot. Now, if you don't want to buy the chapter approved thing, you can use Battlescribe, or there's all other kinds of sources you can do. But this will really give you the nuts and bolts of everything that you need to know to make a modern updated list that should theoretically be pretty competitive. So there's a mission pack and then a kind of a points value update system that you're going to get there. The big box thing here is going to be Eldritch Omens, and that has the Eldar and the Chaos kind of going head and head there with like 15 new models. So there's actually quite a few new ones for them. They've teased at the kill team, but they haven't really specified too much on that yet. Perhaps I'll update that later for anybody playing kill team, which is kind of a more board gamey, kind of small scale style 40K. It's more affordable, but you're also like, there's plenty of releases there to spend on. So let's go in and jump a little bit into this. This is the Azionari Eldar, and then the Chaos here specifically. These models I think look stellar. I really do think they look great. I'm a sucker for snipers, and so snipers on the backs of bikes looks cool. These are probably my favorite ones. I know a few of my patrons are really digging this here, but I'm loving the hover bikes. I really do. I like the ship design of them anyway. And of course you got your Chaos, and they have all the little doodads and finicky little parts and spikes and skulls and that you could ever want, of course. You also get one of these bad boys, which is cool because you can build it either way. So you you can have the Forge Fiend, but you don't have to build it that way, which is kind of nice. It's a rather better box, is my understanding, for building and customizing. Now, the Tau Empire are actually getting a combat patrol with like a stealth focus, which is kind of an interesting take on that, but you know, whatever. You're not going to drone spam with this, but it looks really cool. And their new book is coming out, and they have some crazy strong guns. I mean, like, they are all about the shooting phase. They always have been. It's really the phase that they kind of play the game in, and it's very much shock and awe by the looks of it for what they're going to be doing in that phase. But there are actually 4 more. You're going to get a Grey Knights Combat Patrol. You're going to get a Thousand Suns Combat Patrol. You're going to get a Genestealer's Cult. And then my favorite that I'll probably be grabbing actually is Adeptus Custodes. You'll be getting some of those shiny golden boys as well. And that'll be just kind of coming out throughout this first season here. So we don't have specific dates on everything yet, but either way, it'll be coming, and I'll let you guys know when one of these are going to be popping up. Now, there also are, they went ahead and showed a little bit of new stuff for the Battle Nuns. So they have the this Order of the Bloody Rose is what it's called here, and they have stuff for like, hey, let's just have your big mech just jump into the fray and actually just destroy people. This is for groups that are 6+. They essentially can do extra additional hits. But then there's also a Fueled by Rage. You do it on a charge. What's really great is it's normally just 1 CP, and so anytime you're charging, you kind of have that threat with you. I love little things like this because there's a little bit of tabletop mind game to it, right? Where it's like, okay, I'm doing a charge, or I'm doing many charges. Which one am I going to do the Fueled by Rage on? That's kind of the key there. And then there's the Fiery Example for your Warlord trait. Essentially just they hate characters. And then the Armor of True Sacrifice, where essentially they don't get hurt, but if they do, then you're going to get a miracle die. I actually dislike this kind of stuff. I want something to be very focused, not a, hey, I don't want to get hit, but if I do get hit, I do that. Well, I don't even want that. Like, I just don't want to get hit. I either don't want to get hit or I do want to get hit and get stronger. My opinion, I typically don't like the double-edged sword kind of stuff that you get with that. But anyway, new rules coming in for them, and I'm sure there's probably going to be even more that they'll cover over time. Now, this is kind of the last thing I wanted to touch on. I'm going to show like the first 14-ish or something like that issues of this. So Warhammer 40K Imperium, this was something that I was so jealous of because my patrons over in Europe were getting this and I was not. And now we finally have the opportunity to do this. But there are some catches, especially with the pricing, I want to go over for you guys. So if you don't know, Warhammer 40K Imperium is essentially this kind of like crazy cool partnership where you subscribe to this magazine. Though you can't just go to the store and buy them. However, you guys know how it is when it comes to going to the store and finding what you want in stock, especially the big value ones. Either way, you get a magazine and then you get models like on sprues, and then you also get, stuff like dice and binders and rulers, and you essentially can subscribe to this and then play Warhammer just based off this. You totally could. You can get a small army. You can see here, this is what you're getting. There's terrain. And this is just the plastic gray minis, right? This is not talking about the dice and the cards and the rulers and the battle mats and all that kind of stuff that you'll also be getting. So this is big. And again, January 26th is when this comes. So very, very soon. And you can see there's some big boys in here. There's some big stuff. It's actually pretty darn impressive and all cheaper as well. But, let's go ahead and talk about this. So here is kind of the official collection, and they get you in at just $6.95 for issue 1. Issue 1 gives you a lieutenant and a royal warden, and then some dice and a ruler and part of a battle mat, and then of course that magazine. So you're getting quite a bit. I'm sure it's fun to get it, and then you build your model and stuff like that. You're going to get paints, by the way, too. There's going to be a lot of stuff. So you can see here, and they kind of show you a little bit of, okay, here's what the mat will look like and some of the paints and whatnot. But this image is so low quality, even zooming in, it's kind of like, you can see, a command barge here and some outriders here. You can kind of pick some things out, but it's just not ideal, especially when it comes to like quantity. Like, find all the scarabs. How many are you getting, right? And then it talks about, okay, here's how you get it. You can either get it shipped right to you, which is the guaranteed way to do it. So in my opinion, the way to do it, because there are some that you're going to want to actually probably grab 2 packs of, especially if you want those units. But I wouldn't suggest subscribing to multiple. You're just going to have to then go try your luck at a store is probably the case on that one. But either way. So as you can see, you're going to get all sorts of stuff here. And they announce like, okay, these are like stuff you're actually going to get in for free. And then again, more showing here, and it talks about collecting it and reading it. And as you can see, like the magazines and stuff, they're actually pretty cool. I don't know if they actually have any more information than what you'd like find in their codex or something like that. Probably not, but perhaps. But definitely, pretty, impressive of a list. Now, let's talk price and what you're paying. And then I'm going to end with showing you, okay, here's what's coming up. So they also have a Go Premium. I'll explain that in the price, but essentially issue 17, you're going to be getting an extra one. You get 4 extra issues that you don't get if you're not premium. You get the Chaos Space Marines, the Tyranids, some Orcs, and some Tau Empire. And as you can see, they're actually pretty big packs. Like this is not a small, like you're not getting one sprue here, right? This is multiple sprues building this. It's actually kind of impressive. Not as big as the other stuff you're getting, but it is there. Okay. So let's talk about how many issues will be there. There will be 80 issues in total. So this is going on for quite some time. Now, how often are the issues published? It'll be weekly. Collection is published weekly in select stores, including Barnes & Noble, Games Workshop, and Warhammer stores. When you subscribe, you just get all 4 for that month. So you get 4 issues, I believe, all at once. So you're just going to get a ton of stuff. It'll be actually pretty exciting to receive that at your doorstep, I believe. Now, how much does each issue cost? This is not each month. Each issue, there are 80 issues. So keep that in mind. Every single week there's an issue. How much is that costing you every single week? Issue 1, again, special price $6.95. Premium subscribers will pay $9.95. Issue 2 and onwards is $13.95 an issue, with the premium subscribers paying $16.95. So essentially, if you're doing the premium, first of all, that's per issue. That's not just for those 4 issues. And that's $16.95 every single week. So you definitely, while it's an entry to get into Warhammer, you also want to make darn sure you actually want to play Warhammer and start collecting or painting or whatever before you get into this. With the subscription, you can always go to the store and pick some up if you can find them. From what I hear from my patrons in Europe, oftentimes they were very sold out very quickly, like the day of, instantly, especially the ones that have a deep discount. You'll see in the next page, or I kind of break it down, or I don't break it down, but I'm breaking it down, that it varies in how much discount you're actually getting, because it's set price, but then you're getting various things, right? They're not all the same price. It makes sense. Okay. So there is that. Now, additionally, are there any binders or extras with the subscription? You receive a free binder and dividers in pack 3, and then you will be sent 3 subsequent binders without dividers throughout the course of the collection at a cost of $9.95 per binder. So you will get 3 more $10 binders. So that's another $30 to this whole deal. And again, that is this kind of stuff here, dividers and binders for your cards and stuff like that. So, just as an FYI, there are some added costs in there, and you just want to go into it knowing, yes, this is something I want. I think this would be cool. you get a ton of stuff. As you can see, you get paint holders and paint brushes and paints and stuff like that. Let's go ahead and touch on that now. So issue number 1, what are you getting here? And this is on fohammer.com. I can link down to this below. You do have to scroll quite a way. It's a big old long page on Imperium, but kind of not quite halfway down of the page, they start kind of covering this. So first one, you're going to get 6 die. You're going to get 1 plastic range ruler, a Primaris Lieutenant, and a Necron Royal Warden, which you can see right here. And as you can see here, they have like the kind of the savings percentage. This is 49 to 64% of a savings there. So, pretty darn decent, right? All right. Now, and there's the 2 minis there, though. He doesn't have this base on right now. Okay, so issue 2, you're going to get 3 Necron Warriors and the paint Runelorn Brass and a starter paintbrush. So now you can actually start applying paint onto the minis. If this is all you're getting, I imagine most people either already have paint or are going to be buying other stuff, especially once they start getting them. You don't want to wait, too long and not only have like 1 color paint, right? But you certainly can do that. And as you can see, they're piecemealing it out. That's why there's 80 issues. You're only getting 3 Necron Warriors there. You're not getting a field of 10, or if you're trying to field a whole bunch of them, especially for the Resurrection Protocols, you're going to have 20 of them in there, right? This is 3. So just keep that in mind. Still, pretty nice price there, or pretty nice savings there. All right. Now, issue number 3, they have 3 Assault Space Marines and a Macragge Blue, which is perfect for Ultramarines, as that's where they're coming from. So you're getting kind of 3 of this team, 3 of this team. Issue number 4, you're getting 3 Necron Scorpec Destroyers and a Plasmacite and Lead Belcher. This is actually a pretty big one, just because these are larger models, right? Their bases are, kind of closer to like, I think 40 millimeter at this point. And 3 is a whole, you can field a unit of 3 of them. So you actually have, and then the Plasmacite comes for free with them, right? So, pretty good. And again, percentage savings, 77%. Once you start getting stuff like this, where it's like 77% off, there are going to be people that just buy these to sell them on eBay at inflated prices. So again, this is the kind of stuff where it's like, if you want to know you're going to get it, you're going to want to subscribe, because otherwise it's kind of a crapshoot. It really is. And it can be really frustrating to drive into an actual physical store, hoping they still have one and finding it, or waiting there for them to open, or all sorts of craziness like that. So if you're really serious about getting this, I think you just really want to get it. My opinion on that. And Lead Belcher is a great color. So, because you can highlight it, you can darken it. It's a good one. Okay. And again, 60% savings there. Okay. So next up, issue 5, is you get the captain, and that's a 60%. So you get a Primaris captain. So a new mini, a new model, a new captain, very dynamic. They actually have waists, these Primaris Marines. It's pretty fancy stuff. Not quite so chibi looking. That's kind of the main difference model wise. Actually they often have different stats as well. Issue 6, you get 6 aggressors and then Abaddon Black. So again, now you instead of getting more intercessors to complete that, now you're going to aggressors. They are very cool minis, by the way. You can see them right there. They're like beefy boys. They got like this like thick armor with like big guns on their arms, essentially, that they're just shooting stuff at. Issue 7, and remember, you get 4 per month. So this is now month number 2. You get some Retribution armor and Corax white paints and Mechanica Standard Gray. Mechanica Standard Gray is one of the paints I use more often than anything else, because it's a great gray for like concrete and stuff like that. So terrain and bases and stuff like that, they all get that Mechanica Standard Gray. So very good. And Retribution armor is a fantastic gold. They're putting some of their best paints, I feel, in this. They definitely know what you need. If adding black, okay, that's super useful. They need to add a white. Okay, now you got it in white too. Okay, next you have a Necron Overlord. Now this is the actual Necron Overlord, not the Dominus Necron Overlord that has like the arrow shot. So this is actually a more useful one. You can customize him a little bit. He can have a resurrection orb on his mini, stuff like that. So very, very nice mini to have for sure. Then on issue 9, so now we are in month 3, you get 5 Necron Warriors and Scarab Swarms. So this is bigger than the 3 you got before. Now you're getting 5. Essentially, it's a whole tray, because when you buy them, you get 10, and it's 5 per, and then you get the Necron Swarms as well. So I'm assuming it's, something like this, right? So I believe you get 3 Necron Swarms, or Necrons per batch here. So this, you can kind of see what you're going to be getting there. Issue 10, 5 more Necron Warriors and Scarab Swarms. Now we're just getting units. So, you know what's coming up next. They're going to be swapping. Right now, Space Marine Librarian and Phobos armor. One of the coolest looking new Phobos minis, in my opinion. It just looks so cool, especially with their kind of power sword there. And they can make people just not be attacked by range. So, actually pretty cool guys as well. And I believe you're also getting, yes, a medium dry brush. Super useful as well. But again, this is one of the things where you're getting a dry brush, and this is why you want to be practical about it, but you're getting it like 3 months in. Okay, so if you actually want to be painting these, you've already bought a dry brush. So just more is better. You're going to be using more. You'll be going through this, especially when you first start out. You're going to be roughing up your brush and all that. If you paint like me, you're just going to be going through them because you just don't care enough to be super finicky with it. But anyway, more brushes are still always useful. But just as an FYI, I doubt you're going to be waiting until you get that dry brush to actually dry brush. Okay, then we have the Agrax Earthshade, the Screamer Pink and Canoptic Alloy. Again, this is just more paints here and some washes. Washes are great, especially I love the washes in the pots because you can just dip your brush and keep going. If it's in a bottle, I never get enough or I get too much and it's just annoying. Space Marine Assault Intercessors, you're now getting more Intercessors, and it looks like, according to what they're kind of showing here, there's another 5-ish or something like that. And then there's a Sergeant, I think, that you can build out of there as well. They're showing this for here. Then you get the actual terrain. So now you're getting one of these 3. You're getting an armored container. You'll get that, I think, 3 times in total. You get the Necron Flayed ones. Very cool minis. Only so-so. They die really quick. But they are fun just to kind of come off the board and then attack people and then make them lose morale. So then you get some more Assault Intercessors. So now we have more Assault Intercessors, another Armored Container, a Necron Cryptek, a Technomancer in specific, which is good. Those are actually great. You can pair them up with like a Doomstalker, so it actually hits on like a 2+ instead of a 3+, which is very nice to do. Definitely probably something that's useful. And a new mat to play on. Then you have the 3rd container, and then you have Corn Red and Troll Slayer Orange, both great paints. The Troll Slayer Orange needs like 18 coats to cover, just like any other good orange. That's just how things work. And then you have the actual Rangers here. These are very cool. Now this is now AdMech, so this is a new faction. This is not Space Marines, so FYI, there are some extras here like that. You get more Rangers than a Canoptic Spider, so we're still going into the Necrons. These are cool. They can poop out more Necron swarms, which is super nice. You get the Rakarth Flush and Nuln Oil, both very solid colors. And a wash. Then you get 5 Immortals, great for kind of your deployment zone sitting on a objective because less points because there's less of them. They're actually better than your warriors, but instead of fielding them, often you can just get a group of 5 of them like this and have them sit on an objective for a total of less points that you're just having sit there. Always kind of nice to not kind of dedicate a whole group of 10 warriors to something like that. And then on more AdMech, we got a Tech Priest Dominus. These are very cool, by the way, very fancy models. And then issue 27, well, I guess we'll find out. So that's what we know so far. They're going to keep updating this list, so I am going to go ahead and link to this. And again, you can always check this over and over again. I know that was a lot, and I know that kind of made the video longer, but hopefully that gives you a very good idea. That gives you 27 issues to say if all of that looks good, if you don't mind getting that in piecemeal like that, if that's kind of what you want, then this is probably a good buy for you. Knowing the difference between premium versus not premium, and knowing the fact that you'll have to buy more binders at $10 a pop. And as long as you are aware of that going into it, that's fine. My objective is just to inform you guys, and you guys make great decisions based off that and many other forms of information that you're going to be getting. So anyway, that's that. All the links down below. Hope you enjoyed that. Hope it was helpful for you. If you have any questions, if you want to see me cover Warhammer more, if you don't want to see me cover Warhammer more, let me know in the comments below. Always appreciate your guys' feedback, of course. Guys, thank you so much. Have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you guys again real soon. Bye, guys.